Let's get more on this story from Bassem Ali, a PhD researcher in political science at Cairo University and also an editor at Ahram Online. Thank you so much for joining us, Bassem. It's been a mixed bag for Libyans since the revolution. What is your assessment of the progress so far made in the search for peace there?
I think the ongoing political process in Libya is ending long years of political divisions, armed conflict, civil warfare, and endless social, economic, and humanitarian implications for such equation. So far, the Libyans are discussing how are they going to move forward with the process. For the meantime, they managed to establish and vote for transitional authorities which will handle the negotiating process. But the issues are very complicated, including how to establish a unified security force and army for the country. How would the constitution look like? Who would be responsible for handling the country after the transitional period, which would likely end by the end of 2020? Who would be responsible for handling the country? How would he or she be chosen? As well as the, adding also to the equation the production of oil. How are we going to resume the production of oil? Who are going to respond? Who will be responsible for this process? So the ongoing talks are very complicated. They are going to take a long time, I believe, but it's needed, and it's very crucial for the future of this country if its parties are willing to end their divisions and their conflict and start a new chapter in the history of their country, which I think all the population is looking forward to.
Bassem, we also know that a deadline for foreign fighters to leave Libya expired last month, but little seems to have been achieved. What options are there to, in a sense, compel the fighters to leave?
I believe the only option for Libya is dialogue. They tried warfare and they tried conflict for almost 10 years by now. It started with a random and unclear map of clashes between armed militias and tribes, and it ended with two clear parties to the conflict, which were the LNA and the GNA. But in both cases, they reach nothing. Nothing fruitful has come out of this process of clash. So the only option for Libya in the meantime is dialogue between the political parties to the conflict. They have to sit together once and twice and as much as they can in order to settle all their disagreements and establish a clear roadmap for Libya in the coming period. By the way, this is what sets Libya apart from other cases of civil war in the region, including, for example, Yemen and Syria, which is the fact that a negotiating table has been put in place for its parties. Diplomacy is key to the whole process. The divisions are huge and they cover almost all aspects of life, starting with the trust building measures and ending with who is going to handle the country's affairs. But as I just informed you, it's all about dialogue, and as long as dialogue is in place and conflict is halted, the country, I think, and its people should be very optimistic about its future in the coming years.
Bassem Ali, thank you so much for